Stanford, a place where some of the world's biggest ideas were born. Google, Nike, Hewlett-Packard. But here's something you might not know. Two young Stanford dropouts left it all behind and built a $5 billion startup, not in Silicon Valley, but in India. Their company? Zepto, the app that promised groceries at your doorstep in just 10 minutes and delivered a revolution.
But wait, who exactly are the masterminds behind this idea? Meet Aadit Palicha and Kaivalya Vohra, two childhood friends who earned their way into Stanford, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. So here's the real question. Why would anyone walk away from a golden ticket like Stanford? What drove them to leave behind Silicon Valley's promise and return to India, just as the world was shutting down during the pandemic? And more importantly, how did two 20-year-olds even dream up something as bold as 10-minute delivery? Was it just luck? Or was it a calculated bet on India's fast-changing lifestyle? Because think about it. India already had food delivery giants and e-commerce players. Yet somehow, Zepto exploded onto the scene. What made millions of people suddenly believe in it? What made investors pour in billions of dollars within just a few years? These are the questions we're about to answer. And the story behind them might just change the way you look at the future of business and your own possibilities.
Aadit Palicha and Kaivalya Vohra weren't your ordinary teenagers. Both born and raised in Mumbai, they were top students with a shared dream of building something big. Their paths took them to Stanford University in California, a place known as the breeding ground for world-changing companies. At Stanford, they were surrounded by the legacy of Google, Hewlett-Packard, and countless other startups. The atmosphere was electric, full of ambition. Yet even in that environment, they couldn't shake off a thought. What if the real opportunity wasn't in Silicon Valley, but back home in India? Then came 2020. The pandemic shut down schools, businesses, and daily life. Lockdowns were strict. Streets went empty. And something became crystal clear. India desperately needed a faster, more reliable way to get groceries. Traditional delivery apps often took hours, sometimes even a full day. People were frustrated, and demand for speed was skyrocketing. Sensing this gap, Aadit and Kaivalya made the boldest decision of their lives. They dropped out of Stanford, packed their bags, and returned to Mumbai. Their friends thought they were crazy. Their families were skeptical, but they saw what others didn't. A chance to completely disrupt the way India shopped. Of course, it wasn't easy. Their first attempts at online grocery delivery failed. They struggled with logistics, staffing, and convincing customers to even try a new app. Orders were late, operations were messy, and cash was burning fast. Many young founders would have given up. But instead of quitting, they pivoted. They studied delivery patterns, optimized routes, and built a system of tiny, dark stores scattered across neighborhoods. Warehouses designed only for super-fast delivery. That one idea changed everything. And in 2021, their vision took its first real shape. They launched Zepto, an app promising groceries at your door in just 10 minutes. It sounded impossible. It sounded ridiculous. But it was real. And India was about to find out just how real.
India has always loved convenience. From street-side chai stalls
One chai, please.
to food delivery apps, speed and accessibility have shaped how millions of people live their daily lives. So, when Zepto promised groceries in just 10 minutes, it was more than an app. It was a cultural revolution. Almost overnight, Zepto became a sensation. People began testing it out of curiosity. Could this really work? And when the orders actually arrived on time, customers were hooked. The media caught on, calling it India's answer to Amazon Prime, but faster. Headlines began flooding in.
10-minute delivery wasn't just a marketing slogan, it was a reality. Behind the scenes, investors were watching closely. Venture capital firms, always hungry for the next big disruption, saw the potential. In round after round, Zepto raised millions, then hundreds of millions. By 2024, in less than 3 years, this idea, born in a pandemic, had transformed into a company worth $5 billion. $5 billion. A number most startups can't even dream of.
But of course, no startup story is ever smooth, and Zepto was no exception.
The same packet of noodles stored in a leaking godown. The vegetables kept on a dirty floor and the sauces stored around scurrying cockroaches. Are you still hungry?
In 2022, the company found itself in the middle of a food safety scandal in Mumbai. A single incident sparked headlines across the country. Customers began asking, can a delivery service that's moving this fast also guarantee quality and safety? For a company built on speed, the criticism hit hard. For many startups, scandals like these are enough to derail everything. Trust gets broken, investors back away, growth slows down. But Zepto's story took a different turn. Instead of collapsing, the company doubled down. They addressed safety concerns, tightened operations, and reassured both customers and investors that the system was strong. And despite the noise, something remarkable happened. Orders didn't stop. People still wanted their groceries in 10 minutes. Expansion continued. Investors kept writing checks. Zepto proved that even in the face of controversy, resilience and relentless execution could keep the wheels turning. It was a critical test, one that showed India and the world that Zepto wasn't just a flashy idea riding hype. It was a company determined to survive, adapt, and push forward, no matter the obstacles in its path.
Step back for a moment and think about this. 2 young men, barely in their 20s, chose the harder path. They walked away from Stanford, a place most people only dream of, and instead took a gamble on an idea that sounded impossible. Groceries delivered in 10 minutes. And in just a few years, that gamble turned into a $5 billion giant. Zepto didn't just change the way India shops. It redefined what people thought was possible in one of the toughest industries in the world. The takeaway is simple. Big change doesn't always come from boardrooms or billionaires. Sometimes, it comes from people willing to see a problem, take a risk, and move faster than anyone else dares. So ask yourself, if Aadit and Kaivalya, 2 20-somethings with nothing but vision and courage, could disrupt India's grocery industry, what's stopping you from chasing your idea? From building your own version of Zepto? Because here's the truth. Innovation isn't about age, background, or luck. It's about mindset. The same mindset that has echoed through Stanford's halls for decades. The mindset that gave us Google, Nike, Hewlett-Packard, and now, Zepto. And maybe, just maybe, the next story we tell won't be about someone else's vision. It'll be about yours. From the dorm rooms of Stanford to the bustling streets of Mumbai, from an idea born in a pandemic to a $5 billion company changing the way millions shop, Zepto isn't just a story about groceries. It's proof that bold ideas can rewrite the rules of entire industries. So here's my question for you. If they could take that chance, would you? Tell us in the comments below. And if you loved this story, make sure to hit subscribe. This was the story of Zepto, and the next one could be yours. And hey, if you're dreaming of starting your own company, don't forget to subscribe, because maybe, just maybe, this video was the spark you needed.